Morning. It's November 8th today, and we are in the end of Ezekiel chapter 18. And I wanted to show you a bit of the connection between Hebrews and Ezekiel here. So, a number of days ago, we were in Hebrews chapter 1, and we saw that it started with long ago, at many times and in many ways, God spoke to our fathers through the prophets. And we talked about how God was faithful in communicating this message over and over and over again over hundreds of years. I know it's hard for us to imagine that amount of time because we live such a short time on this earth, maybe 80, 100 years at the most. But this all took place over long periods of time. And so what Moses gave in Deuteronomy, for instance, is more than 1,000 years before David lives. And then it's more than 1,000 years almost to Christ from there for sure. And so these things take place over a long period of time. And it's hard for us to imagine that, again, because given the nature of our short lifespans. But God is patient, and he does communicate in layers over various times. And now with Ezekiel, he is once more calling to the people in the same way that he did through Moses and Deuteronomy. And he says this, "Therefore, you Israelites, I will judge each of you according to your own ways." He's saying it doesn't matter what your father did. It doesn't matter if you began as a righteous person and ended as an unrighteous person. He is going to judge according to your own ways, declares the sovereign Lord. Repent, turn away from your offenses. Then sin will not be your downfall. Rid yourselves of all the offenses you have committed, and get a new heart and a new spirit. Why will you die, people of Israel? For I take no pleasure in the death of anyone, declares the sovereign Lord. Repent and live. It's a crystal clear message, and it's the same thing that God had said through Moses in Deuteronomy 28. "Behold, I set before you today life and blessing, death and cursing. Now choose life." A straightforward decision. Seems that it would be the easy choice, and yet it has to be repeated over and over to each generation, and maybe it has to be repeated to each of us every single day as well, as we consider what God offers versus what sin offers in this world. And so it's gracious of God that he continues to repeat this message, but it is also a warning to us that we need to heed the message in our own generation. We can't afford to let it pass us by at any moment and any time. We need to be brought back to it continually.